Justice, tell us about the Nebraska's defense and what you're expecting, what you're preparing for on Sunday or Saturday.
Their defense is very, I would say powerful. They have great guys up front. They have great linebackers as well. They do a really good job of swarming the football. And I'm really excited to be able to, go out there with our 11 guys and in our locker room and be able to, expose that. They have guys that are going to win. They're going to guys that are going to compete, and they're going to guys that, they might even expose us sometimes. It's going to be a back and forth game. But I think that, our mindset has been, it doesn't matter who we play. As long as we focus on being able to excel at a high level and do what we need to do, it doesn't matter. We'll get our chances, we'll get our opportunities. And as a running back room, I've really been breathing to the guys, like, let's stay focused on what are 2 things or 3 things that we can do to get better from last game. Because if you have that, then this next game we can be better than we were before. Everyone trying to toot our horn and tell us how great we are, but, you got to stay focused on one play and one game at a time. You can't think 2 games ahead, and I'm excited for this opportunity. It's a challenge. Who wouldn't want to go play a great team, at the Rock and be able to win? So,
what do you think the next? What do you want to work on from the last game? What has been the focus of that?
Mainly, I would say just we got to be able to shut teams out. We got to be able to drive the ball downfield consistently. And we definitely showed a lot of that last game as well. But there was definitely some times where we were a little sluggish on certain drives. We need to continue to extend runs as a running back. We need to continue to do that. We need to be more explosive. I would say playing without the football is important as well. Making sure that you're pulling guys away when you don't have the ball in the hand, because it's about 11 guys to put that ball in the end zone. The O-line has to do a job, the tight ends, the running backs, and the quarterbacks, and the receivers. So, it's definitely been something that I've been honing in on myself and the other running backs, so that, we can be able to be the explosive offense we've been doing. So.
Facing a defense like Nebraska's, how big do you feel like it is to have the bye week kind of coming, to prepare yourself physically and mentally for a challenge like that?
It's been good. When you're in year 5, you're thankful for these times. When I was a freshman, I'd be like, man, it's taking too long. But now I've been enjoying the process, even in the bye week. I've been really trying to rest my mind as well. There's a lot of things that go into the game mentally as you get older. This upcoming game has definitely been a lot of mental. You got to really watch the film. You got to really watch the technique and watch, what you're about to see on Saturday, so that you can be able to play fast. We want to play fast, physical, and relentless, like it's all over the board. So that's been something I've really been, cherishing. I'm thankful for the bye week. So.
Announced last week that it's a sellout, big noon kickoff, all of this outside noise. Do you feed off of that, a big crowd, stuff like that?
I think the big crowd is great. Mainly, I think it's great for the community. This environment, we need this in Bloomington here. And this is something I believed in when Coach Signetti first, offered me a scholarship to come here. And it's been great to experience it. And I plan on experiencing more. I'm so thankful for every little thing that they've been giving me. Sure, I'll be in the locker room just looking around, smiling at my teammates. They be looking at me like I'm weird. But, when you have that heart to be thankful for it, there's nothing that can come your way to say, man, I'm not thankful for it. So I'm excited. Who wouldn't want to be on this side of the map? But, we got to continue to keep doing it, because everybody loves winning.
Now, this is your first year here after transferring. What's kind of sparked that love for Bloomington and the love for this town?
I think when people are desperate, that's what really, really, drew me. I knew that there was a town that needed it. I knew that a lot of people, I saw their faces when they had conversations about the previous years or before the 2020 season, or, the success that they've had in the past. When you're able to see that on people's faces, you want to be able to be a part of something that, when I hit the portal, that was the main thing I wanted to do. I wanted to be a part of something greater than me. So, it was like, man, this is no brainer. I don't need to go anywhere else. I don't need to look anywhere else. I took one visit, and that was here. And I committed on the spot. I've just been thankful, and I'm excited to continue to keep winning and make history here. So,
how have you seen those vibes change around town the last few weeks?
I have seen the vibes change, but like I tell the guys during the game, don't get too high, don't get too low, stay right in the middle, because 1 minute they can change in a heartbeat, and you got to stay right in the middle, and you got to continue to keep doing the things that got you there.
Coach Cignetti said it takes special characteristics to be a winner and to sustain success. You have some perspective. You mentioned your 5 years and having been part of successful teams at Wake. Where does selflessness rank up in that, and how does this running back room kind of embody that?
I think selflessness is definitely number one. Selflessness is definitely key to be able to, do your job as a team. We're not going to – everybody wants to score touchdowns as a running back, but you're not going to always be able to put the ball in the end zone. You're going to have to block. You're going to have to block a 3-tech. You're going to have to, you got to run a route full speed. And the guys in the room have been doing a really good job with staying focused on how can I make the team better, how can I continue to develop, and how can I be able to extend these touchdowns so that we can, blow these teams out. That's been the main thing. And having that mindset helps during the course of the game, because the game is about ups and downs. You go through some drives where you might not be as explosive. Some team might expose you, and there's other drives where you might expose them. But the running back room has been doing a really good job of staying focused on how can we continue to be selfless and do our job every single play. So,
you committed to something that you thought was going to be successful. Now that it has been successful through half of the season, how much does that help that attitude in the running back room, and just the attitude of the team in general, that that the wins kind of reinforce kind of the mission that you guys all wanted to buy into?
Definitely. I mean, I think that helped tremendously. The guys have been able to see, like, when you put in work, when you're going through those drills, you kind of like, man, I hope this pay off. That's kind of like the message that you kind of have in the back of your head. But once you be able to see that, pudding coming out, you're like, man, like, this is what happens when you stay focused on what you can do, and this is what happens when you be able to, focus on all the great things that got you there. And my job as a veteran is to continue to keep that message the same. Because the minute you stop sharpening that tool, just like Coach Cignetti says, the minute you stop sharpening it, thinking, okay, I can get away with maybe not doing this today, that's when that tool, can get you, because you're not being able to keep yourself sharp, and you're not able to be able to play at a high level because you're starting to think complacent. And, I've definitely seen the ups and downs of a season, going from 2021 being, 7-0, and then, losing the game and continue to, have a great season after that. And then the following year being 6-0, and then losing, well, not 6-0, winning, I think it was 5-1. And then we kind of had that in the locker room, that ups and downs. We don't have to do the things. And then boom, the season changes. So that's been my mindset as a leader.
Both the offensive line and Zach at tight end, how big have they been in kind of paving the way for you and the other running backs?
They've been great, man. I mean, every single time I come on the sideline, like, I be wanting to jump up in their arms, man. Like, man, thankful, man, that what they're doing out there. And it's definitely been, we've been needing it. They've been stepping up in a lot of different ways. And I keep telling them, keep on going, There's always areas that we all can improve. And be able to see our own film on the sideline has helped as well. To be able to learn from your mistakes has been great for this college football season. And, those guys are hungry to learn and to be able to grow, and to be able to dominate. So every time we go out there, I'm like, man, like, I wonder what else they're going to be able to do. So a lot of times the holes are huge, and I'm like, man, I'm thankful for that. So those guys need to continue to do that, and I know they will. So
Zach especially, it feels like he's kind of that guy that really, will go and do the dirty work for an offense. Like, how important is that to have on a team?
That's important. I mean, a lot of people don't see it. And when we huddle now, he comes up and he daps me real hard. And that kind of sets the tone of, what he's going to do on that play. It sets the tone of what our whole offensive line is going to do in that play. And, I always challenge myself to remember that, I'm not just playing for myself. I'm not playing for, Justice or, my family, but I'm playing for the guys beside me. I don't know them very long. And I told them, before the season started, that I would do my best to be able to have this success with these guys, so that 20 years down the line, we can look back on this phenomenal season and be able to say we put the work in and we broke history. So,
All right, two more.
Justice, you talk about this week being kind of a mental week for you guys. Between that and being a leader, how do you keep your mental and emotional health kind of in check?
Mainly, I'm a big believer in praying and be with the man upstairs. I like to hone in on my mind on what I can do to develop. and to love the process, to love the people around you. I got an NIL deal with Everbowl downtown or Kirkwood, and every single week I'm thinking of ways to give some of the trainers smoothies. Why? Because they're doing their best so that they can get my body right so I can perform at a high level. So those are some of the things that I've pretty much have enjoyed, and I really have been telling myself, remember the things that people are doing for you behind closed doors, and be thankful for every little opportunity that you get. So that's been keeping my mental health really high. So.
And you talk about being a man of faith. Is that something that kind of bonds the team together? Because I see a lot of guys wearing the cross necklaces, or they talk about faith themselves in post-game interviews.
Definitely, it definitely bonds the team. I mean, when you believe in something greater than you, it breeds success and breeds a better version of yourself. And when you're selfless, that's the definition of selfless. Believing what you cannot see. That's the storyline of this year. A lot of people didn't believe Indiana what they were going to do. But we believed before we could see it. And I've been thankful to be around a group of guys that are doing the same things, and to be around them and to develop and to be able to have the success. So.
Great. Thanks, Justin.